They call it the city that never sleeps, the city of dreams, the Big Apple, the crossroads of the world. It's said that if you can make it there, you could make it anywhere. So they come from across the globe with bags full of hopes and dreams, and the city welcomes them. But dreams are rarely what they are believed to be, for while the city may never sleep, still night falls. And it is in the night that the children of Cain wake and play out the masquerade in my city. Beware, children, lest ye fall.
Hello everyone! Welcome. We are not muted. This is excellent. Happy Saturday everyone. Welcome to our, 7th, 8th, 10th episode of Vampire the Masquerade. 13th? Nice, this is the magic number. Our 13th episode, or thereabouts, of Vampire the Masquerade Nightfall, our campaign of VTM that takes place in New York City. I am Simon, at Wandering DM. Before we go into introducing everyone and the characters we're going to play and all that, I just want to remind everyone that this stream is sponsored by Magen Press. You can click the link below the video if you want to go to their store at store.magenpress.com, and you can use code WanderingDM to get 15% off of everything, which also includes the pre-release for the Dark Matter hardcover book, which, if you're not familiar with Dark Matter, it is D&D in space. It is awesome, and we play it here every Tuesday. Today, I'll be playing Sid Zimmerman, the Gangrel private detective, and one half of the Vamp Dads. And let's go around the table, introduce the rest of the cast real quick. We'll do that, we'll go clockwise, so we'll do Scott, Quentin, Alyssa, and then Deirdre. So let's begin with Scott.
Hello everyone, it's Scott here. I will be playing Alexander Erickson, the Ventrue entrepreneur, I guess, would be. I don't know, he doesn't really do much other than spend money. Interesting. So yeah, the other half of the Vamp Dads, so looking forward to what's in store this week.
Next up.
Yeah, I'm Quentin in the non-vampire world. Today I'm going to be playing Herschel Akers, and he's the most adorable, most handsome Nosferatu anybody's ever met. So I'm pretty excited about that. And hashtag not Gremlin stepson.
It needed to be said. Speaking of hashtags, who's our next character?
Hashtag me. It's me, Alyssa in the real world or in this world. Auden St. James, the Toreador art critic, creator, social media expert, and the actual good child.
And finally, to corral all of us, is our wonderful storyteller, Deirdre. Why don't you take us away?
Hello, all. Welcome back to New York. The end of August 2019. It has been a interesting few days, but there was some kidnappings, some artificial turnings, some complicated relationships with old flames that lead to, well, poor choices and blood bonding. We have some Lasombra in the city trying to buy out Tremere. We have some Lasombra providing information as they can. And last we left off last week, a certain individual, a friend, shall we say, of the coterie, one Rebecca Leibowitz, possibly a mage, nobody's quite sure, knows a lot about Kindred but isn't one herself, managed to contact Sid mentally, telepathically, and point out that, Sid and Herschel and Auden had rescued Alexander from the maintenance tunnels under the subway. Rebecca's in a little bit of a tight spot and could use some help. That would probably be where we're going to pick up today, is Sid had contacted Eva, who Rebecca had said was with her when she was taken. She's not 100% sure how. She just passed out and woke up in the room, and there's water. But Eva had left a very kind of cryptic voicemail message for Sid. Doesn't seem like she'll be, well, if she's not also in trouble herself, she might not be much of a help to Sid. But where would you like to start?
So what we know, let's just cover what we heard last week. She's somewhere near salt water, probably underground, because the cell phone reception was bad.
Well, she didn't call you on the cell phone.
Oh no, that's right. The cell phone reception was for Alexander.
Yeah. You do know that she said that it's a metal room and that doesn't seem to be a way out. And there's salt water coming in.
And the last thing we suggested was to go to her place to investigate, maybe find clues as to who took her, and what happened to her.
I will also point out that the reason she was able to talk to Sid is because Sid allowed her to, but that same sensation you had felt previously in the tunnels when you found Alexander.
Wait, repeat that?
So when you first found Alexander, there was the sensation of
something tickling at the back of your head.
Yeah, the familiar presence.
Mhm. Same sensation that later, although she attempted to force her way in, kind of mostly spent her time knocking at your head, you allowed her in, and that was the same sensation.
So she may have tried to reach out to us before.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, any ideas before we get moving?
You said she was in a metal room
Yeah.
that was filling with salt water.
Yeah. Sounds a lot like she's been taken prisoner in one of those cells in the subway system. Except this one would probably be close to water level.
Or could she be in a shipping container?
Thrown in the sea.
I mean, I'm not sure if there's anything that's close to the Atlantic that would. At least the subway. I mean, everything runs inland along the rivers.
Well, there are quite a number of subway lines that run underwater. Like, she could also be in a room under one of them.
I guess we'd better start looking into whatever she was involved in.
Yeah.
Point of order that I don't remember. The station we found Alexander in, which one was that again? Bowling Green? Okay. So is it possible that she's back there? Because that is pretty close to water.
It is. And that's also where we felt the presence. How many doors were there that we did not check?
There were 2 other door frames that looked like they were welded shut. You only went into the one that you could find the crack in and found the lupine. You sent Mr. Tibbs after him.
Mm-hmm.
Them. Excuse me.
We maybe could we see if Mr. Tibbs knows anything else, like if he's been down there and found his person?
It wouldn't hurt. Might be a good idea to get in touch with Tibbs and see if he was able to recover his friend.
Otherwise, I think we might need to get some explosives and head on down back to Bowling Green and blow some things up. Not that I'm excited about that or anything.
Probably not explosives, but at least a blowtorch or something to rip open a hole in that door. I'll try calling Mr. Tibbs. See what happens. Boop, beep. Oh no, that's right, rotary phone. Brrr. Brrr. Brrr.
Hey Herschel, couldn't you track Rebecca's phone maybe? She's
Maybe if she still has it.
we don't know if she has it, but
I mean,
But wouldn't you need a computer for that?
I think you would.
Yeah, if only I didn't have this little Chromebook.
I don't think you even have that yet.
Shit.
Herschel.
You pissed off the Swiss, Herschel. You should be lucky you didn't burn down the whole house.
Okay. Let's split up.
Okay.
half of us go and get Herschel a computer so that he can try to track Rebecca's phone. The others are going to go down to Bowling Green.
I mean, and Auden steals herself for what she's about to say, but she really wants to save Rebecca. Herschel, could you use my computer maybe? If you don't break anything? You're not coming in my room. Like, that ain't happening. I'll get my computer. I can bring my laptop down, but
My eyebrows raise.
it seems like maybe time is of the essence, because, like, I mean, we're undead, but she's not.
Correct.
Sure, I can use it. Eyes dart back and forth.
If you so much as open a single page that you are not allowed to open, if you touch anything other than what you're supposed to, I will destroy you.
Auden, no one is going to go spy on your MySpace account. Don't worry.
Nobody uses MySpace, Sid! And she's like charging up the stairs at this point, like, just. She's so angry, but she's also. She wants to find Rebecca.
I agree. Like, let's do everything we can. Alright then, no splitting up. We might be able to track her phone.
All right, Auden's coming downstairs with her laptop, and she's just gonna look Herschel dead in the eye. You break it.
I slowly extend my grimy hand for it.
All right. It's fine.
Yeah, I try to ping Rebecca's phone.
Can you roll me intelligence computers?
Mm-hmm.
DC 7. And don't forget to use your modifiers.
Intelligence. Gosh, I wish these were in alphabetical order. There it is. So DC 7, that'd be DC 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
2 10s to reroll.
Oh, nope, don't look at that.
Somebody's gaming the system here.
So with 1 success, you manage to get through onto the computer, and you're trying to ping Rebecca's phone.
Mm-hmm.
It's extremely intermittent. You can't quite get a handle on it, but you do know it's generally slightly south and east of where you guys are. Up at house.
Where are we at on the map?
So if you guys are like right here,
Oh.
just south of the Houston Street station,
Mm-hmm.
you would say that it's probably south-ish, east-ish, maybe here, you know, this whole kind of area, maybe in the water.
Mm-hmm.
She could
There's
be back where we were, basically.
she could.
Yeah.
Could you roll me perception computers? Herschel?
Do I get my bonus on that?
Yeah, I'll say DC 7, so yes, you can use your bonus.
I don't notice anything.
You suck.
I'm rolling like a champ today.
No, you
Do
didn't
you
apply you no, you don't you get 0 successes because you didn't apply your
okay. You wanted me to apply the -2 to that.
yeah, so
would
5,
be
6,
one
7
success.
minus 2. It
That'd
would
be 1 success.
Yeah.
No, it's 0 successes. No, it's 1 success. It's 1
Yeah,
success.
because you had a 5, 6, 7, 2
Yeah.
ones. So
5, 6, 7. Sorry, I can't do math. Yes, it would be 1 success.
So he doesn't fry Auden's computer.
No, he's not frying. He wouldn't. This is observing something, not touching something.
Still.
There's something really odd about Auden's computer that is a little skeevy.
Go on.
You're pretty sure that there's monitoring software on here, but you can't quite ping it correctly. It's like you see all of the hallmarks of it, but you can't find it without further investigation. And it's not something that you put on her computer.
Yeah, it's not your monitoring computer.
Yeah.
Herschel, did you put stuff on her computer?
No, nothing. Yeah. So the best I can tell, she's southeast from here. The signal's very weak. She very well could be where we found Alexander.
I still think we should call Mr. Tibbs too, but I think we should head down to the station.
I'm almost done dialing his number.
And you make fun of me for things. Jeez.
So the phone rings a couple times, Sid, before it connects, and it's a little crackly in your ear. Zimmerman, what's up?
Hey, Tibbs. You went to Bowling Green yet?
Yeah, got a couple of guys. Hey, hold on a second! And he kind of shouts down. Blowtorches are loud. What can I do for you?
You mind blowtorching open the other door?
There are two we're gonna try and crack.
Yeah, both of them. We think there's a human in the other one, probably about to drown.
All right. Give me... How long are you gonna take on that? All right. Sheesh.
Can't you just claw your way through steel? I thought werewolves were all powerful.
Yeah, why don't you come do that? The last 2 times I tried, I burned my hand. Like, literally burned my hand.
Alright, well, we're on our way anyway. Just tell whoever you have on watch not to jump us.
You're probably gonna end up... James is at the gate. You can't miss him. About your height. Gray hair. Really weird things with the sideburns. Like,
Alright.
art shit. I don't get it. Like, wants whiskers but doesn't get... I don't know. Don't ask me. Don't start a fight. And then he hangs up the phone on you.
Alright, who wants to go to Bowling Green?
Yeah, I think we all do.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go.
I mean, Rebecca's probably helped me the least, but I'll still come along.
Good.
Hey Herschel, can I have my computer back now?
Yes, by all means, here. I just slowly hand it back, very dramatically.
Why are you like this? And she's just gonna take it and run upstairs. Gonna have to wash this thing. I need Lysol wipes.
I'll look at Sid and Alexander when she's out of the room and say, I think somebody's watching Auden from her computer. I don't
When
know
you
who or
say
what, but,
watching,
monitoring. She should probably put a little piece of tape over her webcam.
wonderful.
I didn't have enough time to dig further into it, but there, telltale signs of something going on. Probably monitoring what she's looking at, what site she's visiting.
That's good to know. I'll bring it up with her. I think I have an idea of who it might be.
Yeah, well, whoever it is, they know she only rises at night now.
Oh, I'm pretty sure whoever it is already knew this.
Daddy?
I believe so. don't think he took too kindly to me, well, blowing him off at the door. I don't know why, but I have a suspicion that he's up to no good.
All right, we ready? The wolves have the torches.
All right, that's good.
How is one person that dirty? Nod back down the stairs at this point.
Just deal with it.
I have to. At this point, we have more important things to deal with, but I feel like you owe me or something. Just for cleaning phase.
If you want to clean the downstairs, that'd be cool.
No,
There's
you
still that like rotting blood down there.
you know what a mop is. Use a mop.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'm okay with it.
Less arguing, more going.
I'm going.
So you make your way back downtown, the couple stations to South Ferry, and then walk over to Bowling Green. It's like 20 yards all told. You just because I want to see and I want to know, are you being stealthy to get back in these tunnels?
I mean, there probably are a bunch of like humans walking around.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's later now. It's closer to midnight, so.
But still.
Mm-hmm. But it's New York, and it's the last station on the 4, 5, and 6 before it crosses the river and goes to Brooklyn. So yes, there are a number of people.
Then yeah, I mean, Sid's going to stealth, that's for sure.
Sid's going to stealth. Everyone who would like to stealth, please roll me dexterity stealth.
And no humming the Pink Panther song.
And Sid, you get to use your celerity. And Auden, don't you have celerity?
I do. I don't think I've ever actually used it.
What was the roll? Dexterity.
Dexterity stealth.
I'm at 3 successes.
This could go poorly.
I have a bunch of levels in obfuscate. Let's see here.
Yeah, you can probably just fucking disappear without having to roll.
4 successes for me.
5 successes.
5 successes. Sorry.
Yeah, when you re-roll a d10, the 1 doesn't remove anything.
That's right. I forgot that. So 5 successes for me.
5 successes, 3 successes, minus 1 success.
Yeah, good job, Alex.
So Alexander's just walking down, all like strutting around, and then we're just hiding in the shadows next to him.
I mean, Alex looks like any other financial district individual walking into Bowling Green Station. Herschel, did you roll? Or are you just going to use obfuscate?
Yeah, I'm going to use obfuscate here. And
Okay. And you have 2 points in that? 2 dots?
I have 4 points in it.
Oh, yeah. You're gone. I'm not even going to make you roll for that. That's just... Bye, disappear. Alex, you kind of are blending in the sense that you look like every financial, well-dressed individual who probably spent a couple hours at one of the bars locally, with clients, schmoozing. Most people don't pay a lot of attention to you. And as you, with everyone else, will just say that you can make your way back into the tunnels. It's about 20 yards down the tunnel, and you see kind of glaring in the dark with the emergency lights of the tunnels as they are, a taller gentleman, a few inches taller than Sid. Floppy gray white hair, very pale skin, bright yellow eyes, and a really complicated shaped sideburns that look kind of like whiskers, but not really. He's wearing a artsy version of a motorcycle jacket with a black on black jacquard. He kind of glares at you, and Sid, you probably definitely hear him subvocally growl, but he doesn't seem to be aggressive yet.
I'll call out. James, is it?
Yes.
We're here with Tibbs. I know, we smell funny.
He just nods his head towards the door.
I'll just whisper to the rest of the group. Don't do anything stupid. They're likely to shred us to pieces.
Please tell me you're looking at Herschel when you say this.
I'm looking at everyone, but my gaze might linger upon Herschel a tiny bit more.
Just a bit longer than everyone else.
Oh, I would never do anything stupid on purpose. I'm like, somebody.
As we walk past, I want to just a big old sniff.
Oh.
You hear him loudly growl at you, and if you look at his hands, you see that his claws have been extended, but he hasn't fully changed.
I think Auden's gonna elbow Herschel. Just real hard jab.
I'll move through the door.
Yep.
It's brighter down here than it was when you guys were last here. It looks like Tibbs and his guys brought down a bunch of those LED tap on, tap off lights that you saw the first time you were in these tunnels. A couple,
Yeah, the cheap
camp
IKEA
lanterns.
ones. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you can hear now, all of you, you don't need a perception roll to hear the blowtorch that seems to be working on one of the doors. It's an enclosed space with tile walls and metal walls. It's gonna ricochet sound everywhere. You see Tibbs standing about 3/4 of the way to the door that you first found Alex at. He's still taller than most of you. Actually, I think he's taller than all of you. Standing at almost 6'4". Very, very shaped sideburns, African American. He's not wearing his bowler. He's got it in his hand and kind of like tapping it aggressively against his leg and in kind of a nervous gesture, frustrated nervous gesture. He's still wearing his dual shoulder holsters and badge. He kind of turns. Zimmerman?
Tibbs.
You brought the crew.
This human is precious to all of us. We want to make sure they survive.
Don't hear any response from the other door, but we should be cracking it shortly. The individual you found?
Yeah.
Not local.
And
Red Hand.
I'm familiar with that. Is that like a tribe or something?
Yeah. Boston's a long way from New York, ain't it?
I don't know. We have people from all over the globe traveling here. And you, compared to us, can travel at daytime, so you kind of blend in a bit more.
Usually we know when we have cousins come to visit.
Well, you deal with yours, I'll deal with mine.
Yeah, you just kind of see him jerk his head. Anyone who wants to can roll perception. Alertness.
He jerks his head towards the door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so... Oh, there we go. Herschel with 2 successes, Sid 2 successes, Auden 1 success. Alex is not. But you hear the sound and you see him jerk as they break the second door. And you see the individual with the blowtorch. It's hard to determine gender, size, or anything with a steel welding mask over your face and shape. Jerk back and pull the blowtorch back as they kind of fall backwards, and an individual comes running out, shoving everyone out of the way, running towards you. You know that it is not Rebecca.
Fuck. Are they running in a panicked way, or are they running like someone who's under frenzy?
Kind of both.
Yeah, okay. I will...
Don't seem to be stopping at the lupines, though.
I'll put
Shoving
myself in
through
their
the 3
path.
guys.
Yeah, I'll put myself in their path and get ready to grab them,
Okay.
to not let them through.
What are the rest of you going to do?
I pull out my gun and point it at him.
I think I'm just gonna step out of the way and let Sid do his thing and pretend I didn't see Herschel's gun. Because we're not doing that again.
Well, you're not on a public platform anymore, and the only people around are the lupines that you pulled the gun in front of. That could be even entertaining.
That, yeah, could...
Maybe Herschel will get mauled by a werewolf today.
Like Christmas.
It's too early. It's not for Thanksgiving yet. But the figure is extremely disoriented. It runs towards you, Sid. It's not stopping. It's smaller than you are. Maybe 5 foot tall. Wearing all black. You could probably see them now, but they're moving very quickly.
Okay.
If you want to stop them, you're going to have to roll for it.
Alright, roll what?
As I said, I'd like to, as it's running towards Sid, give him a hand and trying to, I guess, are we trying to catch them, or are you just trying to, like, take them down?
I'm trying to catch them.
Okay.
Okay. That would probably be Dex Brawl, unless Alexander wants to do something else.
They're probably not paying any attention, though, so dominate probably would not work to give them the command to stop.
Probably not.
Yeah. So I will just help Sid attempt to catch them.
All right. Do I get any modifiers for that?
I will say you can add 2 dice.
Why doesn't work? Okay, there we go. And difficulty?
Well, let's just say 6. They're not. They're frenzying, but they're not attacking yet. So.
Would melee work, or does it have to be brawl?
No, melee could work. Well, do you have a weapon that you're engaging this with?
I do. Well, I have a weapon, but I am not engaging them with it.
Then
So that would
melee
be
isn't going to
brawl.
work. Yeah, then
Okay.
it's brawl.
Oh, 6. 6 successes.
6 successes. You reach out, and just as they get to you, you kind of pick them up off the ground and hold them out at arm's length like you would a small child. And you realize that the individual is fighting kind of aggressively and obviously frenzying, but isn't attacking and doesn't seem to know how, doesn't seem to know what they're doing. Like not even cognizant enough to attempt to do more than the most instinctive actions. And while they are trying to kind of bite at you, they're not even trying to claw at your arms as you're holding them up. It's a figure in a black dress, looks kind of period anachronistic. There's a black coat and hat. Asian of some descent, but you couldn't quite swear if they're Korean or Japanese or Chinese. It's too muddled, and their features are too distorted by hunger and their fangs pulling at their face.
I will try to I want to use animalism to quell the beast.
Okay.
Ugh, Jesus, I'm gonna have to go get another coffee. I want to soothe the beast, so
Okay.
it's manip plus empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily the best person at that, but hey, and it's difficulty 7. Do I as many total successes as the target has willpower? Okay, shit. And
They are frenzying.
yeah, it doesn't change anything if they're frenzying or not.
No, it changed.
Low on willpower. Yeah. If they're
Oh.
frenzying, they're probably low on will.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I have 0 successes.
You attempt to. What does this look like? What does it
I
look
think
like?
I'm
as you try
like
to do this?
holding them by the arms, and I'm trying to get to lock eyes with them, so I can start, soothing down the beast and get that person out of frenzy.
Mm-hmm.
But I think with 0 successes, I just can't lock eyes with them. It just doesn't work.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't seem to be working. It doesn't seem to connect in any way, shape, or form. That's not what I wanted to do. They are distracted, however, by being on the ground and try and kick you, being off the ground, and they eventually get to a point where they try and kick you in the stomach.
Okay.
And you'll notice that she's wearing very pointed heels.
All right. You know what? To make sure that I keep a hold onto them, I will let them kick me. I'm not going to try to dodge, basically.
Okay. She's not trying to do any harm per se. More, it's like an instinctual behavior of just flailing at this point. They are definitely about another couple minutes later, and you just see the head tilt to the side and slump forward.
I shake them.
There's no response.
Are they limp?
Yes.
Okay. I will pick them up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll turn to everyone else and be like, well, looks like they're out for a while. What say we leave this place and leave the puppers alone?
We sure
What
Rebecca's
about
not
Rebecca?
Are there any other doors?
No, there are no other doors. Alexander and Sid and Auden can all roll me perception empathy, however. Herschel cannot.
What's the difficulty?
6.
Oh, no success.
Yeah, 2.
3 successes.
Sid and Alexander, you feel that comforting presence in the back of your head again. That sensation of knowing someone. It's definitely stronger here than it was in the brownstone.
Would we be able to maybe tap into that? Just kind of see if it gets stronger one direction or another?
How do you want to do that?
I guess kind of like what Sid did to let Rebecca in. Because maybe she's trying to reach out again.
Okay, so you want to see. Okay. Sid, did you want to do anything just to see?
I like still carrying that person because
Mhm.
I don't know who I should fucking give that person to. I want to see if I start going back towards the platform.
Okay.
Does this presence diminish in my mind or not?
Okay. So you're going back towards the platform. Alex, you're going to try and.
I'm going to go the opposite direction.
Okay, you're going
So,
away from the platform, so you're going uptown. Sid's going downtown, technically. On the train line.
Yeah,
Just based on the way things are. So, Alex, you would perceive that it gets slightly weaker as you go further uptown. You're still close enough that it's significantly strong, that it's still strong, but it's not precise.
Okay.
And it's not as clear the further you get uptown.
All right. So as I'm noticing that it's getting weaker, I'll turn back around and start heading downtowns with the rest.
Okay. And then Sid, as you're working downtown towards the platform, it does get stronger as you get closer to the platform. You would also notice something else. You could probably pick out directionality at this point.
How close am I to the platform? Like, are there any chances of people seeing me?
How far do you want to stop before you get there?
Oh, I mean, how far would I have gone before noticing? Like, is it halfway between the door and the platform, or?
You would have noticed pretty much about the half once you started getting to the subway tunnel itself instead of just the maintenance tunnel.
Okay. Then I'll turn around and I'll go back to the group and tell
Yep.
them that, uh, I think I'm able to sense a direction or something.
Oh. All right. Auden's just gonna follow Sid.
Yeah, lead the way, Sid.
Alright, we're gonna have to sneak again, because we're gonna pass by the platform, I'm afraid. And,
Carrying a body.
yeah. That's gonna be a thing.
All right. Let's do this.
Herschel,
Rebecca.
how good are you at remaining hidden?
I'm good sometimes.
Hmm. Alright, I'll keep the body then. I thought you were better than me at stealthing.
I probably am with Obfuscate.
Obfuscate's cheating.
Yeah, I don't care if it's cheating. We need to make sure that whoever's carrying this body is not caught.
Then Herschel would be the best one to give the body to.
Yeah, I can use like unseen presence.
My question is unseen presence, is that only for Herschel, or is it for anything he's carrying as well?
Because that would be quite the sight to see. Just
Because
floating body.
just
Oh, God.
floating body would be a sight.
I'll just put my robes over her and carry her.
How many dots in obfuscate do you have again?
4 points.
Yeah, you can extend your unseen presence to something that you are carrying that is your size or smaller. And she is significantly smaller than you are.
We got this, guys.
Your confidence is alarming, but we're gonna go with it.
As long
But
as
if
he doesn't start
if
humming.
She wakes up and attacks me, I'm probably gonna drop her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no one's saying not that, but maybe just don't hum your little theme song.
Herschel will remember that.
So you're going to stealth your way back through the tunnels
Yep.
Yeah.
to the platform. How are you? Both Sid and Alexander would feel this presence getting stronger, and you can definitely confirm a location, direction.
Okay.
Right?
Wait, ping that again?
Oh, down on the island.
Governor's Island?
Close.
That direction.
The only downside is that the ferry doesn't run after 10 o'clock, even during the summer. Oh, wait a minute. I don't. Let me not say that. Let me double check because
I mean, do you feel like stealing a boat?
Can we steal a boat? That would be great. Can we steal a boat?
Sure.
You don't just have a boat, Alexander.
Yeah, what's up with that?
It would take some time.
Could we get a boat?
Besides, where's your sense of adventure, Herschel?
Yeah. Steal a boat. Steal
Ready?
a boat.
Are you afraid Auden might push you into the river and wash some of whatever that is off of you?
You know
Oh, I
what?
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just steal a boat. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. You know, with all this money we have floating around, let's steal a boat.
Hey, just to make sure, y'all can go over running water, right?
just
Think so? Haven't really experimented with it.
Yeah, I didn't take that flaw in character creation.
Good.
I don't think I did either.
I really thought about it.
an old wives' tale.
I'm a little surprised you didn't take that flaw. What flaw haven't you taken at this point?
The no reflection and the running water. That's what Herschel hasn't taken. Let that sink in, people.
Yep.
So you make your way. There are a number of small boats tied up very close to the piers. A bunch of them belong to the National Park Service. A few of them belong to the United States Coast Guard. There's some NYPD speedboats tied up nearby.
Yes, let's not steal an NYPD boat.
Yeah, preferably something
yeah,
someone
no.
won't notice missing immediately.
Yeah, we'll get somebody's personal boat, and Auden takes her hand off the rope she was about to use to take a NYPD boat. Totally.
Roll me perception alertness.
All of us?
Anybody who wants to.
Two successes.
I was going to roll empathy. 2 successes.
Herschel, you, with your 3 successes, notice that while Sid and Auden are kind of looking around and notice all the very official boats that are tied up at South Ferry, you do see a couple dinghies that are tied up next to the Governor's Island ferry terminal that look like they're probably maintenance crew boats, but don't look like they're a little inflatable, a couple of those small inflatable speedboats, maybe 15 footers, probably okay to.
Hey, guys, the boats with the least amount of tracking or security are probably going to be the dinghy over there.
All right.
Nice catch.
Let's go get the dinghy.
Are you taking your new friend with you?
We kinda have to.
I agree. Leaving a body on the pier here might be a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any rope or anything that we could, tie him up? So just in case something happens?
We could call a cab and just send Auden and her home.
No. We would send you home first.
But why would we? Nobody has
Because-
rope. We'll just have to make
Put her
sure.
in the boat. It's fine.
What if nobody has rope or there's boats everywhere?
No, I
Rope.
mean nobody of amongst us. We probably have some. There's probably something on the boat, but
I mean, there's the line that has the boat tied
yeah.
to
But
the
I'm
pier.
picturing it's like rope that's this thick.
No, it's not
No,
that
it's
thick.
Probably.
That's
inch.
that you would use that for like an ocean liner,
That's
You don't-
some
that,
big rope you got there.
pretty much. A line for a dinghy like that is not going to be any more than like yay thick.
Okay.
It'll work.
Maybe a silver dollar at most. Probably even smaller than that. It's not.
Yeah.
It's. So you unhitch the lines. Have any of you ever driven a boat before?
Auden has. She grew up around boats and stuff. That's why she's so excited to steal a boat. She knows boats.
After you, Captain.
She perks up a little bit and gets the boat going.
Herschel looks around and says, "It's bad luck to have a woman on board."
She's gonna give Herschel the dirtiest look and wait until they're out in the water and then kick him off the boat. We're gonna get going. We're gonna get sailing, and then she's gonna immediately kick him off the boat.
Can I ask for Herschel if you want to avoid falling into the New York City harbor, to roll me a Dex dodge, please?
Does cat-like balance or anything come into play here?
I will say that cat-like balance will help you, but you are on a boat in the water. So I will say the difficulty is 7.
Valiant effort.
It's a whole lot of.
God!
5. That's 5. He's at 5. We stopped at 5.
He's at 4.
Oh, is it 4? Oh, yeah. Well, no, 2.
DC 7.
7. Okay, so 4.
So Auden goes to kick you, and you dodge out of the way and kind of slide very artfully back to the another seat on the other side of the bow, and don't fall in.
Wasn't
It's-
very nice, Auden.
Wasn't very nice what you said, Herschel.
It's literally sailor superstition. I didn't say it. I repeated it.
That doesn't. You still used your mouth to make those words.
I bet you also have a banana on you too, huh?
What does that mean?
Bananas are also bad luck.
What?
Bad luck.
You guys really need to read more.
You need to read more clearly. Like, you wouldn't even have a boat if it wasn't for me.
I really don't want a boat. This isn't even our boat. We stole it.
It's my boat now.
Auden, you can't keep this boat. I'll have to return it.
Can we also return Herschel to the bottom of the harbor?
You attempted. I will give you that. But we should probably get to the island.
We are. Don't worry. We're almost there.
And as we're heading toward the island, are we feeling that get stronger?
Mm-hmm. You feel it definitely getting stronger, and as you get to the island, Governor's Island is unique in New York history. It is called that because it was originally the home to the original Dutch governors of the territory of New Amsterdam. The British come in, and it becomes the home of the British military posting and governors. Half of the island is on the National Historic Register for gorgeous homes, former military barracks. Castle William and Fort J are some of the oldest American forts. And until 1996, it was the oldest continuous military outpost in the United States. Going from the Dutch to the British colonials to the Americans, the United States Army, eventually into the hands of the United States Coast Guard, until it was sold to the city of New York in 1996. The other half of the island is landfill that was used when they were digging the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel, and had been at one point old barracks, the only pizza place in the world that also served beer. Well, let me rephrase that. The only Domino's that, not Domino's, the only Nathan's hot dogs that served beer, because it was also attached to the pizza place that was attached to the bowling alley. There was the PX and the commissary, and halfway decent pool. But overlooking all of this is the vent tower for the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. It sits in the middle of the harbor at the edge of the island. And as you're approaching the island, you approach the older section of the island, because that's where the ferry terminal is. And as you do so, you would both feel the kind of directionality of the sensation that you're feeling shift slightly north and down.
Okay.
So if you're approaching here where the little figure, where it says Governor's Island, and there's the little ferry thingy, that's where the ferry terminal is. You see this thing that they're calling the Hugh L. Carey Tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nobody calls it that. That's the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel. It goes from Brooklyn to the Battery, and that's what it's for. The vent is right about here. It's not on the map, but it's,
So she would probably be in the Battery Tunnel.
Maybe not in the tunnel itself.
And you said the vent
Probably.
to get in is on the island itself?
Yeah, it's a tower about 4 stories tall, octagon shaped. Let me see if I can find a picture.
While you're doing that, people should know in chat that right now in the Zoom chat that we have, the kids are arguing.
They're always arguing.
They've been arguing for a while now.
To be fair, Herschel took it to the next level.
To be fair, we're probably doing this over text messages.
This is to be honest, this is probably Auden's definitely focused on the boat, but yeah, this is definitely something she would be text fighting with Herschel about.
And for the audience, they're currently fighting over whether or not Herschel has ever taken a bath. That tell you what this relationship with family is like? I need a better image.
I mean, they can argue as much as they want. It's not like anyone was bonded to Herschel.
This is true. Here we go. This is what this looks like. I will also post this in chat so you know when I talk about a vent. Y'all, this is what the vent
That's
looks
not a link.
like. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, hold on.
Copy image address.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it this way.
All of that to Auden.
There we go. This is what
this is
oh,
huge.
that's the tunnel vent. So that people don't die of carbon monoxide from all the cars.
Wow. Well, I
It's
mean,
very distinctive. You can kind of notice it.
yeah, that sticks out a little bit.
No shit. I was expecting something a little more conspicuous.
Inconspicuous?
Inconspicuous, yes.
No. Mm-mm. It kind of sits like off a little bit of a pier. And for those of us of a certain age who may have spent some time living on Governor's Island, we recall when the Macy's 4th of July fireworks were held in the harbor, and we may or may not have spent time on that little piece of the island watching the best view in the house. So yes, you would probably get a distinct impression that the battery tunnel vent is kind of drawing your attention. There's also a small area that Auden would probably be able to tie up next to instead of going all the way to the rest of the ferry terminal.
That's probably where we need to go.
Oh yeah, I'll steer the boat that way.
Could you all roll me perception alertness as you tie the vessel up?
Where's my sheet?
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing for... Wow, it's rare that I roll nothing on perception.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least we got Herschel. Herschel's got a 10 he can reroll.
Why do I not have any? I don't have anybody's rolls.
Then I had 17 successes.
No, you didn't.
No,
Okay, there. Now there we go. Okay. So there's Herschel with his 3 successes. Auden with 3 successes. All right. In the middle of the sibling arguing, while the vamp dads are distracted with this sensation in the back of their head, trying to pinpoint things, Auden, you and Herschel would both notice a very large chain, probably as you're trying to tie this little vessel up, 15-footer up to the side of the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel ventilation shaft. And it's a very large chain that's kind of looped multiple times around a cement. I'm sure if you've ever been to a pier anywhere, it's kind of like bulbous shaped. It's designed for anchor chain. Kind of looks like that. Kind of drifting in the middle of the water, off the side.
Hey everybody.
Also looks brand new and not weathered at all.
Y'all, that looks like an anchor chain thing, and that does not look like it's been here for very long. So maybe that's what we should be focusing our energy on.
Yeah, I can't swim, so.
Oh, well then you're the perfect person to go get it, Herschel.
I don't think that's correct.
We don't need to breathe.
It's very true.
And with that, Sid's gonna take most of his clothes off and walk into the water and follow the chain.
So Sid's going in.
Yeah. Basically, just like using the chain. I'm not
As a
swimming
guideline.
next to it. Yeah, as a guideline.
Anyone else joining Sid in the...
Yeah, come on. The water's great.
Well, it's a lot better than it used to be.
Regardless, I don't think we feel warmth or cold that much.
I think we can. We don't project any warmth, I don't think.
It's your choice whether you perceive the heat or cold. You can you're always temperate, and you can perceive changes in temperature, but you don't need to be concerned about whether or not.
Right. Then I will text Elizabeth to get the car service ready and let them know where we are. And then I will proceed to take off my very expensive shoes and suit coat and put my phone somewhere that it's not going to get wet and go into the water.
Yeah.
Are you going to leave your wallet?
Well, yes. I mean,
Okay.
he's going to wander around and, the battery park vent and steal our things.
So Alex and Sid are diving in. Herschel and Auden, what are you two doing?
I think Auden would dive in because she's a very natural swimmer and everything, but she's also kind of not sure if you need more than 2 people to go in.
Someone will have to stay with the girl.
Herschel, you want to stay with the girl?
Yeah, I guess.
No blood bonding.
But what if she asks nicely?
No.
All right, I guess.
So Herschel's going to stay on the boat. The 3 of you are diving in. I would like you, as you dive in to the pitch black that is the New York City harbor mixed with the East River and the Atlantic Ocean, near the Brooklyn Battery Tunnel and Governor's Island, to all roll me perception alertness DC 8.
Oh, God. Is it sight or here? Well, I figure it's sight-based.
It's sight-based. You're not going to lose the chain. You can't if you choose to go down the chain itself. But,
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I would be going down the chain.
I get 2
Sid.
successes.
Yeah, definitely going down the
Don't-
chain.
Are you using your eyes? Your
I'm
glow in the dark
using-
eyes?
I'm not even using my see in the dark thing. This is just natural me being OP.
Did
Yeah.
Auden leave her phone up on the boat?
Yes, of course.
Herschel wants to get into that.
No.
Herschel, hold that thought.
Nice.
As it's very dark, Alex and Auden, you can see maybe 3 feet in front of you. You can see the chain. I'm assuming that you're all relatively close together, so you can see each other. But it is, well, it's not as cold as it could be because it is August, but it is August, in the northern Atlantic. So it ain't like bathwater, y'all. 65, 70, if you're lucky. It's also a lot cleaner than it used to be. There was a lot of money spent in the late 90s to clean up a lot of the sewage dump and various other stuff that was shoved into the East River. So there's a lot of positives there. There's more fish now. There are actually fish. You come across a couple. You would know that this is not a new installation, or excuse me, not an old installation, because there is no barnacle growth on this chain and there are no clams on it either. Sid, with those 2 successes, as you're leading the charge, you see something very large and metallic about 25, 30 feet in front of you, about 50 feet down.
Wait, 50 feet down and...
About 25 feet in front of you. So about 50 feet total, 25 from where you currently are on the chain.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'll try to motion to everyone. Like, wave and point down. And keep going.
I mean, theoretically, you could try to talk, but I don't think it would work very well. So you're going to keep going. Herschel, do you want to get into Auden's phone? Why do you want to get into Auden's phone? What are you looking for?
I want to say who she's been talking to.
Okay.
Emails and texts.
She hasn't left it unlocked. She doesn't trust you.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say DC 9. Intelligence computers.
And then I can reduce that down.
Mm-hmm. Three successes. You do manage to get it open. There's a number of text messages. There are a number of communications and various DMs that she is doing with a various number of people for various reasons. The most recent is but Auden doesn't usually label contacts with proper names. She labels them with personal nom de plumes, identifiers. The most recent is someone that she calls the Beast. The Beast, do not talk, do not call. The Beast, do not IM.
Obviously, I opened that one.
It's a bunch of back and forth. The pictures are kind of, well, first is a table with candlelit white linen cloths for 2 overlooking Times Square. Red and white roses on the table. There's some very aggressive shot down from Auden. There's a Spotify link for Sting's Everywhere, Every Breath You Take, followed by Auden's response.
That don't impress me much. Push 9 Wayne.
That was like what? No, it was that. And then there's the picture of the second seat taken up by a large teddy bear with a brown teddy bear with a big white ribbon around its neck. We're talking like 4 or 5 feet tall.
Yeah, I'll take her phone and I'll reply and be like, "I'm sorry for everything. Let's meet up." And then I'll lock her phone and put it back. Oh, I want to change Herschel's name to like best stepbrother or something too.
You know what it's saved as right now is I want to change it to Shithead McGee, but right now it's listed as gross one needs a shower.
Yeah, change that to best stepbrother. And then I'll close her phone, put it back.
Okay.
Is the little vampire, does she have like a purse or a clutch or nothing?
Nope. Nothing there.
And she's still out cold?
Still out cold. Sid,
Mm-hmm.
it takes you about probably 5 to 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes to get to this, what looks like, or have you turned your eyes on? Because by this point you're gonna need to. At this depth.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
It looks like a shipping container, a small one.
Okay.
And you see the chain is tied or welded to what would be a door, like dead center in the middle of it.
So it's welded shut.
The chain is welded to the door. You'd have to do an investigation of the box itself to see if it's welded shut.
Yeah, I'm gonna get closer to it and inspect it.
It doesn't look like it's welded shut, but it is triple padlocked, and it's got one of those like steel shipping container, big crossbar, slidey, latchy thingies, which I know is a very technical term, but I can't think of what they're actually called.
Also, not going to be easy for us to open this underwater. Just because of like pressures and stuff like that.
There is that, yes.
So we might want to try to yank this container up to the surface.
I don't know if we're gonna be strong enough.
I was gonna say it's a giant shipping container. We're not gonna be able to lift that up.
I mean, it's not a full shipping container. It's only half, so it's only 12 feet.
And we have a boat.
Yeah, we could probably drag it with the boat.
Don't shake your head at me, Herschel.
But there is one thing you haven't accounted for. Rebecca told you it was filling with water.
Yeah. That's
I
my
guess we should-
problem. Well, you said triple padlock, that's it?
Yeah.
Like nothing else?
Nope.
I mean, I've never tried picking open a lock underwater, but there shouldn't be a problem.
I mean, you can see it.
Get to picking.
How far down are we?
About 50, 55 feet.
Okay.
Yeah. So you want to pick these locks. That's what
Yep.
you want to try and do. Alex, Auden, what are you doing?
Trying to figure out how. Probably just helping Sid at this point because there's not a whole lot I can see or do.
Okay. Alex?
I'm gonna swim back up. So I'm going to turn around and follow the chain back up.
Okay. So you're gonna go back up. Auden is helping Sid. Alex, what are you doing when you breach the surface?
I'm going to yell for Herschel to... Because obviously something transported this thing here. Is there something around up there that we can use to maybe hoist this thing back up?
Okay. So you want to look around.
Yeah, I'll have Herschel do it because he's already up on land.
Okay. But before we get to that, I have a question for Herschel. Could you roll me Dex Dodge DC 9?
Yeah.
Just after you put Auden's phone back and you've changed your wonderful name to being best stepbrother ever, you feel something hit you in the back of the head,
Mm-hmm.
and you go tumbling into the water.
Sweet.
Did I happen to see what hit Herschel in the back of the head?
Can you roll me perception alertness? It's very hard to make out, but it's a tall figure in almost stereotypical SWAT kind of gear, black on black with a scope sight, androgynous looking, carrying some sort of machine gun, probably a modified M16. Night vision goggles, and apparently the individual used the butt of the gun to knock Herschel into the water.
Am I conscious?
It takes a couple seconds before you begin to orient yourself with that -1 success.
All right.
So as I see him get hit in the back of the head and he gets put into the water, I'm going to try and not make my presence known.
Good call. Sid, you're going to try and pick these locks.
Yes.
I'm going to say underwater it's a DC 7, but you are getting help from Auden, even if she's just holding the lock still for you. So you can add 1 die to your either wit security or dex security. Your choice.
It's going to be Dex security.
And you can use your celerity.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where is it? Okay. And an extra die for Auden.
Yeah, and the 2 for your celerity, right?
Yeah, and what's the difficulty?
7.
7.
5 successes.
5 successes.
I'll say the first 2 locks are like butter. Again, looking at these, it looks like, yeah, these kind of fall into that same thought process of the cheap, buy them in a pack of 5 master lock padlocks that were on the doors that were barring Sophia de Verenos and Professor Stevens. It takes a little bit longer to get the 3rd lock undone. More out of just this particular lock is older, and so it's stiffer already, but it doesn't seem to give you any major resistance eventually.
Okay.
And now you have all 3 locks done.
All right.
Bright side is if the entire container is filled up, it's nice and equally pressurized, so the door should open easily.
Well, hopefully it's not all filled up.
Yeah.
because then she's in trouble.
You haven't lost a sense, the feeling in the back of your mind, but it's been a while since Rebecca has tried to verbally communicate with you. But we're gonna cut to Alexander as you see Herschel get knocked into this body of water by this figure. You'll notice, probably would have noticed that he kind of glances over his shoulder and there's two more on the dock. He seems to be getting out of the boat and going to, as he goes to cut the line of the boat, set it adrift. But then you notice the young looking figure that was in this boat that you rescued. And she kind of has stood up and has made eye contact with the individual that is knocked Herschel into the water. And they start screaming and putting their hands at the side of their head, almost ripping at it. And then you see this young-ish appearing individual dart forward at full speed and rip their throat out. It's messy and it's violent. And it's short before you can see, kind of guess that maybe it's a she, lifts her head, kind of cocks it, and turns to the two on the pier and flings the body that she just fully drained into the water next to you. And that's where we're going to take the break for today.
All right. Things are happening. We will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes. Stick around, everyone. We will return shortly. We're back. We're gonna be missing an Auden for the rest of the game. She had to go, but let's keep going. We were all in the water.
As your tiny little guest rises up and has ripped the throat out of one of these SWAT guys and flung him into the water. Well, his body. Herschel, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna float in the water and play dead.
All right, you're gonna float next to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, what are you doing?
Upon seeing what our new friend has done, I will climb out of the water.
As she advances on very quickly, the other two, who both begin screaming long before she gets to them, clawing at their heads.
And I'm assuming this is something that she's doing to them. Would I be aware of what this is?
You could make a guess that it's definitely something that she's doing.
Right.
If you want to know specifically what it is, you'd have to roll for it.
Yes. So that's fine.
Okay. Probably going to be either intelligence or perception, and then occult or academics.
God, two of which I don't have anything in.
Well, make an argument for something else.
Damn, I was just looking at academics too.
Yeah, I don't have anything in academics, and I don't have anything in
Occult.
occult. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I don't see anything else that I could really argue for.
not really.
Yep. That's fine. I can take my chances. Let's see what we got. So let's do intelligence.
I will say it for you, this is a DC 5.
Okay. One success. It's better than no
You're-
success.
Pretty sure it's either it's some sort of mental ability, probably tied to Auspex, maybe. God, words literally just went out of my head. Could be a Malkavian ability.
Joy.
One of them that kept escaping.
It's possible.
Sid, you're underwater. You've got 3 locks undone. Auden is helping you. For the rest of this, she will be your assistance until she goes to kill Herschel later. Well, when she finds out what Herschel did and then goes to kill him later.
I will try to pry open the doors of the container.
That's going to have to be a strength athletics.
Ooh. Do I get a die because Auden is helping me?
Yep,
Ah, shit. I used difficulty 6.
that's fine. For this. I was going to say 7 anyways, so you still would have gotten those 2 successes. Apologies, I had to. So you've pushing the door open. It is not all the way full with water, and you see water start to flood in there. Your eyes are still activated, yes?
Yeah.
So you can see underwater.
Yeah, because otherwise I couldn't see anything.
And you see a figure who looks very similar to... It looks like Rebecca, but there's something different about her appearance.
Yeah, she said something that about the salt water that was affecting her or something.
Mm-hmm. Her hair is green.
Sure.
And it's starting to her skin tone doesn't look good. She's not unconscious and she seems to be trying to swim by you. But it's like she's weighted in the water. She can't move as quickly.
Okay. Does she look like she's tied to anything?
No, she's not tied up. But
Okay.
it's like she's struggling to both move and see. She kind of knows that you're there. And you know that she knows that you're there because you kind of feel the presence that was in the back of your head this whole time kind of strengthen for a moment and then recede.
Okay.
As if she's acknowledging your existence, but she doesn't seem to be tracking you visually at all.
All right. I'll swim into the container and grab her.
It's not, she's kind of floated to the top, so you're just gonna have to reach in. You don't have to go all the way into the container itself.
Okay.
Down. Does that make sense?
Yep.
The water has pushed her far enough up that you can grab her from that way, and particularly with the water coming in now. So you have hold of Rebecca. Auden is going to start going up the chain. What are you going to do?
Wait, me?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna grab Rebecca and start going back up the chain.
Okay, so the two of you are going up, the three of you are going up the chain. Let's cut up to Alex. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna watch this little vampire tear the other two of these guys up.
She massacres them kind of quickly.
But I will remain on guard if she turns around and appears to be aggressive.
She kind of turns around, cocks her head at you the other way, brings her wrist up to kind of wipe some of the blood that's now all over her face off. Smirks at you. And then, can you roll me perception alertness?
Yep. Three successes?
You watch as she kind of disappears into the darkness and then just kind of seems to vanish from sight.
Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
By this point, Sid, you and Auden have made it about 3/4 up to the top of the chain. You would see Herschel still in the water.
Okay.
And
Does he look dead?
I mean, he is already dead.
No, but I mean. Oh, that's true. We don't we like turn to ashes when we die, when we meet true death.
depends on how it's done, yes.
But he's not moving or anything.
No.
Very important question for Herschel. Before you decided to act all limp in the water, did you inhale?
Probably not.
Because then aren't you gonna sink?
We don't typically have to breathe normally, therefore, if there's no air in your lungs, you're probably going to sink.
Your buoyancy is off.
Oh, that's fine. I'll just rest at the bottom for a bit.
Well, you would have seen him going down by you.
Because then I would have tapped Auden, bring her closer to Rebecca. Like, make her hold Rebecca, since I can't really speak, and make my way to the body of Herschel and grab him by
Okay.
the jacket.
I would say that's not hard because Herschel's trying to play dead, and it probably happened shortly after he got hit in the head anyways, so he's disoriented. It's not hard for you to grab hold of him. He's not far from the chain, maybe, an extra 3 feet, 5 feet.
Okay.
By the time you break the surface, Rebecca is unconscious. She's not dead, but she's definitely unconscious, and she looks rather worse the wear.
So when I hear them come up and basically break the surface of the water.
Were you trying to be stealthy about this, Sid?
No, because I don't know what's going on above.
Then yes, you would have heard them.
Okay, then I would run back over once I hear them come back up and basically see were they able to get Rebecca out.
Yeah. You can get Rebecca out.
I'll help on get Rebecca out of the water.
She's unconscious. Her hair is a hunter green. Her skin and features are elongated and distorted. A darker shades of brown. And you see the beginning of what looks like acid burns.
I'll grab my suit coat and begin kind of using that as a towel. All the while snarkily stating that this is going to go towards some of that payment that we owe you.
There's a feeling in the back of your head, Alexander, that feels almost like laughter. Sort of.
Sort of. Little hint of anger.
Just a little bit.
Good, that means you're still alive.
Auden starts the boat back to Manhattan, unless you prefer her to drive it somewhere else.
I know. I wanted to make sure we had a car ready for us, so where we left would probably be the best place.
So back to the Battery.
Yeah.
Okay. Herschel, what you doing now that Sid has saved your butt?
Yeah, I'll wake up when I get to the surface. What? Something hit me in the back of the head. What happened? I'll look around. I see like dead bodies, blood in the water.
Mm-hmm.
It
What?
seems our friend woke up, and she was none too pleased to see these gentlemen. Better them than us.
Yeah, that's what I always say. Well, clearly she's not our problem anymore. Right?
Wait, where is she?
I wish I knew. She vanished after she drank the 3 of these and then took off. She
All right.
seemed appreciative. She didn't decide to rip my throat out, which is a plus.
Yep. Sounds like we can just get Rebecca back to the brownstone.
Yeah, that's probably the best idea. Well, we should get back to the battery. There should be a car waiting for us.
All right.
So you get back to the Governor's Island ferry terminal at the battery park, the battery. You have a car waiting for you. It is not your regular driver. Same service, but not the regular driver. This is a taller, still Russian-looking gentleman, but older, more grizzled, slightly pockmarked face, full beard, although he keeps it close cropped. And he is much more noticeable with the gun that he is wearing.
I'm gonna ask him in Russian, where's the regular driver?
And he responds in Russian that your usual man is unconscious in the hospital. We apologize for the failure.
What's he saying?
He says that the regular driver is in the hospital. He's been knocked unconscious, apparently. And that would explain why this one's more armed than usual. Okay, take us back to the brownstone.
He nods, opens the door for you, and is much more aggressive in his scanning of the street, of his visibly looking under the car as he gets in. Sid, you and Alex are both of an age to have served at various points in history. You're both of an age to be aware. This man looks extremely professional in his actions and not someone who is used to doing these actions, used to checking under cars for bombs, used to checking, ignition systems for wires that may or may not belong there. Used to see, gives the impression of one who may have been involved with a slightly more clandestine organization before he entered the United States.
Mm-hmm.
One maybe before the fall of the Soviet Union.
Probably.
Jeez, I wonder which.
As we get in the car, I'm going to text Elizabeth and make sure everything's okay.
Of course, sir. Is there a problem?
And I'll let her know about the driver.
Oh, yes. They found him a couple hours ago. It is messy. Outlook is questionable at best.
Keep me abrupt. All the while, get yourself an extra security detail.
Of course, sir. Should I get an extra security detail for Dolly as well?
Would be advisable, yes.
Understandable.
We're on someone's radar. Whose, I'm not sure.
Very good, sir.
Sid, there's probably going to be a little extra security with Dolly from here on. It seems somebody's got a bit more of an interest in us than we thought.
Yeah, don't you remember the warning about the Semite?
I thought that was for me, but apparently that's extended out a little further.
Well, you and anyone that works with you.
I'm sorry, what? There's somebody hunting us?
Yeah, to put it lightly, yeah.
How would you put it heavily?
Let's just say that there's a clan of our kind that excel in murder. And, pretty much all of us excel in that. They go a step above.
So why are they coming after you?
Let's just say I've had job offers that I've declined in other ways.
You told someone to go fuck themselves, didn't you?
Pretty much. The Sabat are a little pissed off that I tend to associate myself with Camarilla.
Well, it's just a more challenging life for us. Come on.
What's, reward without a little risk? Or a lot, for this matter.
It's maybe 20 minutes to get back to the brownstone. By now it's 1:30, almost 2 o'clock in the morning. There's still the soft sound of jazz coming from the lower rooms, lower floor. Do you bring Rebecca inside?
Yes. Yeah, we
Yeah.
want to bring her in and take her up to one of the showers and start rinsing her off of.
Auden will help with that. We'll take her upstairs to her room and the bathroom upstairs and get her cleaned up. Sid and Alexander, can you roll me? No, actually, everyone can roll me perception alertness.
Who the fuck is in the house again?
Mm-hmm.
4 successes. Assuming that this is a DC
Yep,
8.
no,
6.
it's the same.
Okay.
It's the same. 4 successes for Sid, 4 successes for Herschel, 3 successes for Alexander. As you walk inside the front door and Auden takes Rebecca upstairs, you would notice a large vase of cut roses sitting on the side table inside the front foyer. All of
What?
them are red.
Are they all red?
All of them are red. And all of them are unique, but slightly harder to find in this city in this day and age. All of them still have their thorns on them.
Odd. Take Rebecca up and stay upstairs. I'm gonna go and look at the vase and see if there's any card, or is it just the roses with the thorns?
There's a card.
I'll investigate with him because it might be for me. So
There's no name on the card. There's no addressee. It's just a card. In a florist's card in a little florist envelope, and you open it, and you draw it out, and there's a very large black symbol on this bright white heavy cardstock.
And what symbol would that be?
Well, it looks like the clan mark for the Lasombra.
Does that mean anything to you, Alexander?
I don't know, and I'll look back to Sid. Were you expecting flowers?
I mean, I haven't pissed off a Lasombra in some time, so.
I might have. Let me go check the basement. Well, no, not the basement. The floor between us and the... Oh god, there's so many floors.
Your guest?
Yes.
There are only 4 floors and a basement.
Yeah, and you only have to worry about 3 of those 4 floors.
So, hey, here's the thing. IRL, I probably will never own a house that has more than 2 floors.
No.
Anything higher than 2 is like screwing up my mind.
The garden level. There's still soft music coming from the back bedroom. Soft jazz.
I will go knock on the door.
Come on in.
Sabrina?
Yeah. She's still dressed the way you saw her earlier when you came home from rescuing Alex. Jeans, a sleeveless spaghetti strap tank top. Anything in particular I can help you with, Sid?
Well, first... I can't get the, break in my voice right. How are you doing?
I'm not bleeding internally, and there might be 3 dead bodies around this city, but I didn't think you cared about that.
No. I think there's a package for you upstairs.
Package for me? No one knows I'm here.
Got a bunch of red roses, thorns attached, with the symbol of the Lasombra clan attached to them.
Okay. But did it say it was for me? You guys have been pissing off a bunch of family, as it were.
You're the only Lasombra in the house.
Well, literally no one knows I'm here. I ensured that in a slightly messy fashion, but I ensured that. If you want me gone, I'll be gone, Sid.
What if, for some reason, someone knows that you're here?
Then I'm probably going to meet the final death a whole lot sooner than I planned. Unless you're going to be my knight in shining armor, Sid, and somehow I don't think our relationship is that friendly.
Well, anyone comes knocking at this door looking for trouble, they're gonna meet trouble.
Like I said, can I just sit back and watch? I'm sure it'll be very entertaining watching you mow down some of certain individuals' most prized tools.
Yeah, it's just... be careful if you ever have to get out of the house.
Appreciate your concern, Sid.
Try not to drag too many people back here.
I would never bring dinner here, Sid. Alex has too nice a place.
I didn't mean dinner.
Well, what did you mean then? I wasn't going to bring anyone back here.
Hopefully never. Yeah.
I did have another interesting conversation while you were out.
With Kodo?
You did ask for an appointment.
I did.
He is willing to meet with you.
Oh, good.
He doesn't really think that. He kind of wants that to be alone. And there is the implication that it should be somewhere public.
Why, is he afraid we're gonna try to kill him or something?
Not 100% sure on that, actually. I think he always assumes that people are going to try and kill him. I mean, to be fair, I've tried to kill him 3 times. But that was just, family squabbles.
Okay. I'll meet with him.
And she hands you a card. There's your phone number. Call him direct. Also, don't use emojis. Apparently, he's kind of pissed about that.
I don't use emojis.
Didn't think you did, but I don't know. There was this whole rant lately about how you can't trust people and the Camarilla are full of themselves, and why would you send these little pictures to piss people off? It seems rude and inappropriate. And then there was this whole rant about manners and etiquette. Honestly, I'll be honest, I tuned him out. I tune Kodo out a lot. Except when I'm possibly listening for more information. He likes to hear himself talk.
Oh, good to know. I'll keep that in mind. And, I will leave her and go back upstairs.
Before you do, could you roll me 4d10?
Sure.
You can re-roll the 10. As you hear the radio change and Frank Sinatra come on and start singing,
Yeah, I
it
figured.
feels like something's trying to overwhelm you, but you close the door or pull your head away, and you are not knocked unconscious this time.
Not today, Frank Sinatra. Not today.
Oh, not today. You see, as you walk away, you see Sophia start to hum along and sing along. She has a very pleasant voice, and she starts singing it in Italian.
Who?
Well,
You mean
Frank...
Sabrina.
Sabrina, sorry. Sabrina. Yeah, Sabrina is singing in Italian. It's a very pleasant sound. She's singing along. Frank is singing in English, but she's singing in Italian. And she seems to be slightly swaying to the music as you close the door and walk away.
Okay.
What would you like to do, sir?
Try to get rid of my cat, but apparently it's impossible right now.
You do have an attachment to animals. You are a gangrel.
I'll go back upstairs to, Alexander.
Alexander, how do these packages just keep showing up inside the house? Don't we lock the door?
I certainly hope the doors are locked. I mean, as long as you're not the last one to leave, I think that's never been a problem.
It happened one time. No, but seriously, how'd the roses get in?
That I'm not sure of. I don't know if Dolly might have let someone in or not. I would say let's check the camera footage to see who was around the house, but we can't.
Salt in the wounds. And I'll just give him the finger as I walk down to the basement.
So these flowers are from our friends at the Sabbat, I would assume.
At about that time, Sid has made his way back upstairs.
Anything from our guest, or
It doesn't seem like they were destined to our guest.
then they're probably something for us. Or me.
Have you pissed off those Sombra so bad that they needed to send you a message?
I don't think Yaphet was a bit appreciative of the emojis that were sent.
Ah, yes. Young people speech.
Well, I'm neither young, but I do like to keep up with the times.
Well, perhaps Kodo is not the type of person to keep up with time.
You'd think he'd take the hit the first time that I didn't want to be involved with the Sabbat.
I don't know what to say.
I think he's more pissed off that my sire won and that I stuck with the Camarilla.
Perhaps.
I mean, he's just going to have to get over it. I don't have any intentions of joining the Sabbat.
Neither have I, ever. But people don't send assassins after me just for that.
I mean, some people tend to hold a grudge.
More often than not, they showed up themselves. They didn't wait for someone else to do the job or send out messages.
Right. I mean, I'd have Herschel take a look at the footage around the brownstone, but we can't review any of that at the time.
You're really gonna have to buy him a new computer.
I know. I'm just letting him steep in his own mess for a while.
All right then.
He is good at what he does. But
No, it's
don't
just-
tell him that. It'll just go to his head.
We're just gonna need him to be able to use his computer at some point.
No, I know. I've sent the list that he gave me over to Elizabeth, so she should be in process of procuring what he's asking for.
Good.
Just need to make sure that we can still trust him to do, well, what's in our best interest and not in, Francesca's. But from the sounds of it, it sounds like Francesca has an issue with Mr. Kodo as well. So, the enemy of my enemy and all.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna meet up with Kodo.
For anything in particular?
To discuss what's been happening.
Oh, you mean with
Him buying properties left and right.
tread carefully? Kodo's not one to take too lightly.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we're gonna have to.
We should probably go check in on Rebecca and see if she's
Yeah.
doing any better. I'll head up to
Lead the
Auden's
way.
room and
Yeah.
just knock on the door. And
Auden comes out slightly very puzzled looking, very confused. She's here, I think. But I don't think she's going to talk to us anytime soon.
do you want to explain? Try to?
Maybe you should just, yeah, come in. And she leads you into her room and shows you the corner next to the fireplace in her room. There is a very large, well, up here. There in that corner next to the window, between the window and the fireplace, where there was a mirror and glass shards, but no longer, is a very large thing of vines.
Okay.
About 5 feet in diameter.
Just vines? Is this some art project you're working on?
Nope, she's in that.
The fuck.
What happened?
She took a shower, and that happened.
I'd say get Rebecca on the phone because she's the expert in these matters, but
But
a
our
little
expert
difficult.
is, yeah.
She said she had to take a nap.
Sid, you've known Rebecca longer than I have. Is this normal?
Have I ever seen that before?
Roll me 5d10.
5d10.
As you cast your mind back, trying to see if you've ever seen anything like this before, you recall now, particularly because she pulled that memory up closer to be when you were running from Eckhard the first time and you came across Rebecca. Somebody was chasing you. It wasn't just Eckhard, it was a couple of the others. One was a little gun happy, and you vaguely recall some sort of vines stopping the bullet from hitting Rebecca. But you don't recall much more than that.
Okay.
This whole thing wrapping around her, yeah, you've never seen that.
I've never seen that before. I've seen something similar. I think the vines come from her. I don't think it's a bad thing. She might just be resting.
Okay. Sorry, Auden. I think we're just gonna have to let this Just gonna have to let Rebecca take a little nap in your room.
Nope, that's okay. She can have it.
Good. Where are you gonna sleep then? Take the other empty room?
There are like 3 more bedrooms in this place, Sid.
I was gonna say she could probably take one of the other bedrooms on the garden floor.
Oh, I keep forgetting there's that floor.
Or the extra bedroom on Alexander's floor, or...
I thought Alexander's floor was off limit to everyone.
That's fine, Auden. If you're more comfortable sleeping up there, then you can use the extra room.
Herschel hasn't gotten rid of the body downstairs in the basement and it's starting to smell.
I guess I'll have to have that addressed. I mean, we can't expect Herschel to do it. He's obviously not going to. You know, stubborn sign of rebellion and all. I'll get with Elizabeth to have a cleaning crew come by and take care of it.
Cool. I'm gonna get some rest because this has been a weird night.
Yeah, to say the least.
So Auden retires to one of the spare bedroom that's not your office on your floor. Alexander, Sid, what are you doing?
How late is it?
Maybe close to 3.
I'm gonna call Kodo.
Okay. Do you do that in front of Alex or by yourself?
No, I'll go back down to my office.
Okay. It's 2-3 rings before it picks up. Yes,
Kodo.
I believe that this is true. Zimmerman, correct?
Yep.
You wished a conversation.
Yep.
Where and when?
I've been told that you would like a public place.
I think it is in both of our best interests.
How about early tomorrow night at Grand Station?
Grand Central?
Yeah.
I do love their oyster bar.
There's gonna be plenty of people still, so we'll be in a public setting. Say 9:30.
Of course. I will meet you there.
Good.
And he hangs up the phone.
All right.
Herschel, what are you doing?
Really trying to figure out a way to do something, but it's just really hard with no computer down here. Not a whole lot, probably. I'm probably just sitting down in the basement, staring at the remains of my burned up computer.
Can you roll me perception alertness?
Oh gosh.
You're sitting there on your camp cot, lamenting the loss of your dear friend computer. And you realize there's something on the cot next to you.
I look at it.
It's a small rag doll with a white bandage wrapped around its head.
Is this ringing any like special like vampire bells or anything? Like, I pick up the doll.
It's got kind of faceless features, no real face on it. It's just a rag doll. But it looks like it's almost got gray sweatpants and a brown robe.
Can I take the bandage off of its head?
Mm-hmm.
I do that.
Still faceless, but you know.
If I like squeeze it, is there anything inside of it?
Just feels like sand or beans. It's like a Raggedy Ann ragdoll cloth.
Wow. They missed the New Balance sneakers. No, I'll actually tuck it in a pocket. That's interesting.
I think on that we're gonna end it for tonight.
Just Herschel in the basement playing with his weird little doll.
Uh-huh.
I mean, if I had a needle, I'd poke it and see if I hurt, but
I don't know. It could be lots of things, but thank you all.
Yes, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you to all the new follows. I know we've had a whole bunch during the show. Thank you to all of you watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Let's go around the table. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and what you have going on in your lives at the moment. We'll begin with Mr. Alexander Erickson.
Hello, everyone. Scott here at Berserker_Rage in Twitch and Twitter. So be sure to stop by and follow me in those places. You can find me here every Saturday doing what it is we do, doing all the wonderful vampire things. So be sure to always come and check out the Wandering DM channel. There is a lot of fun stuff that goes on here.
And Quentin.
yeah. Again, I had a great time playing. I know Herschel's not invested in a lot of the stuff going on right now, but I am. I have no idea, like crazy leaf stuff, weird goth vampire killing Marines. That's all very interesting to me. But Herschel's like, I don't really care about that. But yeah, so I'm Quentin in real life. I'm at Thragged on the internet and in chat and stuff. I don't post a whole lot on Twitter, but I definitely like repost all these guys' cool stuff that they're doing. And you can find me here on Saturdays doing this, which I'm really excited to do every week. So thanks again, Simon and Deirdre.
No problem. We know Auden isn't here. If you want to follow her on Twitter at Xander Slimilton, it's her Twitter account. She, I don't know if she's in any other games.
I don't think she's in any other games, but you should cheer her on because she does roller derby stuff on Twitter, and that's where she had to go run away to. She had a meet today.
And Deirdre, where can we find you? What do you have going on?
Oh, hey, all. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxagorth Esmiophoria, as you see me hanging out in the Twitch chat, and I'm glad everyone's having fun still. I'm actually kind of glad you managed to save Rebecca. We'll see how that goes. I was fully prepared for her to die today. But as for me, you can find me Monday over on Role Players for some Age of Arcana fun, because that's interesting. We've split the party across dimensions. That's not a bad choice at all. Great.
Who does that?
Josh did that. But we did that.
It happens.
It
Yep.
happens.
It's
And
the
then-
best. Don't split the party.
But other than that, I'll be back here Saturday to run some more vampire and see what else is going on in this city.
And-
Oh, and I will see people at PAX. I'll be at PAX. Come say hi.
And I am Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you so much for coming by. You can find me, like Deirdre said, on Mondays playing Age of Arcana over on Roll Players. Tuesdays playing Dark Matter. Next Friday is our second episode of Cyberpunk Red. We'll introduce the rest of the cast, so Ximenes, Mr. White, and Jinx. We are also going to play some Vampire again next Saturday, and I think I might do another solo stream sometimes this week if you want to have a look into the design process that goes into Age of Arcana. So on that note, we will go, and we will see you again